In 1512, Sri Chaitanya returned to Puri while preparations were underway for Ratha Yatra, the awesome and magnificent chariot parade of Lord Jagannath. Even today, as for the past 2,000 years, local people construct and decorate new chariots for the yearly parade. The deity of Jagannath, the Lord of the universe, leaves the temple to ride on his chariot and extend his mercy to everyone. Accompanying Jagannath on similar chariots are his elder brother Balaram and his sister Subhadra. Yearly, hundreds of Sri Chaitanya's followers from Bengal journeyed to Puri to join him in Ratha Yatra. Sri Chaitanya organized his devotees into 7 groups of chanters and placed them around the huge chariots. Even Jagannath himself was astonished by the dancing of Sri Chaitanya. He brought his chariot to a standstill to watch with unblinking eyes. Jagannath is Krishna, and this celebration commemorates the time when Krishna was led from the unsurpassed majesty of his kingdom to the rural village of Vrindavan, where he had passed his childhood. The devotees emotionally carried Krishna back to Vrindavan by the intensity and purity of their love for him. Vrindavan, where pure love for Krishna fills every heart. Sri Chaitanya had wanted to come here for years, and finally, early one autumn morning, he left Puri and headed west toward the land of Krishna. On the way, he passed through the forest of Jarikanda. Attracted by the Lord's deep love of Krishna, the wild animals gave up their old enmities and began to chant with him. The Lord had been absorbed in ecstatic love at Jagannath Puri, but that love increased 100,000 times as he wandered in the Vrindavan forest where Krishna had tended his cows. Sri Chaitanya is Krishna himself, and he recognized his old friends, the animals, trees, and creepers of Vrindavan. They, in turn, were jubilant to see their Lord again. Each morning, Lord Chaitanya sat alone beneath this tamarind tree and relished the joy of chanting Hare Krishna. In the afternoons, he explained the importance of chanting to his many visitors. The Lord's footprints now memorialize the spot. Lord Chaitanya asked 2 of his closest associates, Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, to live in Vrindavan, excavate the lost holy places of Krishna's pastimes, and write books about Krishna consciousness. Rupa and Sanatan, along with 4 other inspired and scholarly Goswamis, contributed the largest and most consistent body of spiritual literature known in the world. They established temples and taught Krishna consciousness by their exemplary lives. For 6 years, Lord Chaitanya had traveled extensively in India. Now 30 years old, he would spend the rest of his days with his associates in Jagannath Puri. Now elderly, Haridas Thakur had moved from Navadvip to a small cottage near the Jagannath temple in Puri. Because he had been born an outcast, Haridas was not allowed in the temple. But Sri Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself, visited Haridas every day. One day the Lord found Haridas ill. Haridas said,
"My Lord, I think you will soon end your pastimes in this material world. Before that time comes, kindly let my body fall down in your presence."
A few days later, when the Lord came to visit, Haridas fixed his eyes on the Lord's face, chanted Shri Krishna Chaitanya, and gave up his earthly life to return home to the spiritual world. Out of love for this unparalleled devotee, Shri Chaitanya took Haridas's dead body and began to dance, while the entire city chanted Hare Krishna. To honor Haridas's passing, the Lord collected sanctified food and distributed generous helpings to all the devotees, saying, "All glories to Haridas Thakur, who attained perfection by chanting the holy name of the Lord." Sri Chaitanya stayed in Puri for 18 years. Each day he would chant and dance in the temple and instruct the countless people who came to him. At night he stayed in this room, called Gambira, where his sandals and water pot are enshrined today. Overwhelmed by the glorious sweetness of ecstatic love for Krishna, he experienced inconceivable transcendental emotions. One night, Sri Chaitanya happily wandered in a garden that resembled Vrindavan. Suddenly, he saw Lord Krishna. He began running toward Krishna, but Krishna smiled and disappeared. Another night, the devotees found Sri Chaitanya lying near the Jagannath temple. The Lord was unconscious in the ecstasy of sadness, feeling separation from Krishna. The year 1534. One day, devotees saw Sri Chaitanya, now 48, enter a temple of Krishna. He never came out. He had amalgamated himself with the deity of Krishna on the altar. Thus, the Lord concluded his pastimes on earth and returned to his eternal abode in the spiritual world. The immortal culture of Krishna consciousness, as presented by Sri Chaitanya, has been passed from one generation to the next through a succession of great realized teachers, including His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Srila Prabhupada wrote more than 60 books on Lord Chaitanya and Krishna consciousness. He founded schools, temples, and farming communities on 6 continents. He installed deities of the Supreme Lord throughout the world, and he inaugurated the chariot parade and distribution of sanctified food worldwide. It was Srila Prabhupada who carried Sri Chaitanya's storehouse of love of God beyond the shores of India and began to fulfill Sri Chaitanya's prediction, "One day my names will be chanted in every town and village in the world." In 1984, Srila Prabhupada's disciples began an 18-month walking pilgrimage, retracing Lord Chaitanya's route throughout India, reminding millions of his great spiritual message. Although Lord Chaitanya's followers wrote hundreds of books, the Lord himself left only 8 verses. "My dear Lord Krishna," he prayed, "let there be all victory for the chanting of your holy names, which cleanses the heart and stops the miseries of material existence. They are the prime benediction for all living entities, the life of all transcendental knowledge, and they enable one to taste full nectar at every step." "Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be filled with tears of love as I chant your holy names? Because of separation from you, I consider a moment like a great millennium. You may embrace me tightly or make me broken-hearted by not being visible to me. You are completely free to do anything and everything. but you are my worshipable Lord, unconditionally.